have you done?
Must have been a cable or something.
Oh, wonderful.
Has there been a power cut?
Oh, go back to sleep, Pradeep.
What a weird place to put it. You all right, mate? Yeah, thanks.
Complete and utter total flaming disaster thanks to that idiot.
An electrician's been called, but he may take an hour.
Oh, that's all right then. I'll tell the Houston people when they arrive. Any moment now.
You can feel the stress in the air. And with the way everyone's acting, it'll soon push them past the point of no return.
Just hang on a moment, Pradeep. You told Maggie we were going with Star Cruiser. I assumed you'd cleared it with Lola. I had no idea until a few moments ago that she's now calling it Star Rider.
You're the editor.
And what's that supposed to mean?
If Lola wants to change the title, it's your job to know. You made a mistake. So just admit it.
Star Cruiser, Star Rider. God, who cares what a stupid novel's called?
So what exactly should Karen do to overcome the stress she's clearly suffering? Obviously, in the long term, she'll have to develop ways of preventing pressure becoming stress. But since she's still completely wound up, she should start with how she's feeling now.
So long as he comes out smelling roses.
The stress reaction, the fight or flight reaction, is a physical response. If we're going to deal with that physical change in our bodies, we have to take control of our physiology. We have to look at ways of changing our physical state. We have to recognise what's happened to us, recognise the tension, and let it go before we can start to do anything else.
Karen, how are things going?
Get lost.
Can I make a suggestion?
So long as I don't get the blame.
Just stop what you're doing.
What?
Stop what you're doing and take a few deep breaths.
I've got time for this.
Look, by calming yourself down physically, just taking a moment to stop what you're doing and relax, you can get back in control of your feelings. Which means you can stop blaming others and start to deal with the problem. Drop your shoulders. Now take a couple of deep breaths.
What now?
Well, you're still angry, so let's deal with that.
Okay. How do I deal with it?
Try talking to yourself. Tell yourself to calm down.
Right. Karen, calm down. It's not your fault. It's not fair. But you've got to clear up the mess again. So, what are you going to do?
Well, what are you going to do?
Well, there aren't that many options. We can do what Lola wants and withdraw Star Cruiser, Star Rider, whatever it's called, from the book fair, which is financial suicide for this department. We can change the promotional material, which is expensive and there isn't time. We can try and change Lola's mind.
You see, you're already thinking more clearly.
Richard, if anyone can make her see sense, it's him. He discovered her after all.
There you are then, ready to take action.
Well, what if it doesn't work?
You'll have to think of something else. But now you're tackling the problem, not just feeling furious that it's there.
Right. Thanks.
So simple, it should have been obvious. But that's looking at things from the outside. The trouble with stress is that when you're inside the problem, the only thing that's obvious is how you feel. That's great. We'll see you then. Thanks. Bye-bye.
Any sign?
Of the electrician?
Houston.
I haven't seen them.
Look, run round the corner and get some coffees, will you?
Right.
No. They'll just go cold.
I'll help Paul, shall I, till they get here?
Yes, do that.
Good.
Can I ask a question?
If you must.
You're used to working under pressure all the time. But right now you don't seem to be coping as well as usual. Why?
Well, I've got the wrong title, wrong artwork, useless promotional material, a pig-headed author, all at the same time, and all just before Frankfurt, but plus this visit from Halston Press.
So what's the first step you normally take when faced with a series of problems like this?
I go and make a cup of coffee, which of course I can't do, because we have no power, thanks to a stupid workman.
How does the coffee help?
It doesn't. It just gives me breathing space.
So you literally remove yourself from the problem for a while, and that actually helps you see things from a slightly different perspective.
And if I can't make myself a cup of coffee?
Just break the pattern. Leave your desk. Get a glass of water, a breath of fresh air, whatever. Make a physical change. That'll help you get back in control of your emotions so you can start thinking clearly and logically.
I am perfectly in control of my emotions.
But you are under a lot of pressure, aren't you? There's no secret to all this. It's the sort of thing we all do quite naturally. But when we're very stressed, we tend to dive in straight away and try to deal with the problem. Instead, we should first reduce our stress, the way our bodies and minds are reacting, and only then take action.
Michelle, could you find out how much it would cost to get the Lola Michaels covers and posters changed and how quickly it can be done?
Sure.
But let's hope it never comes to that.
So in order to deal with stress in the short term, there are 3 phases we must go through. Start by breaking the physical reactions, the fight or flight response, by pausing and changing your breathing. This enables you to calm down emotionally, to take control of your feelings and put things in perspective. Only then will you be able to think about your behavior and decide how you are going to tackle the immediate problem. Of course, no one's saying if you follow these phases you'll live in a stress-free zone, but in the short term, they will help.
Dealing with immediate pressure, with stress and tension, is all very well in the short term, but it doesn't go far enough. What we need to do is we need to learn to improve our long-term coping, to improve our resilience and our resourcefulness. And there are lots of different ways of doing this. And a good way to start is by looking around and noticing people who you think might be coping with pressure better than you are, and learning from them. Ask them the question, what do they do? How do they cope? And take what will work for you and use it to improve your own coping skills.
Michelle. Doesn't it ever get to you? You know, working with Maggie?
No.
Well, why not?
I don't know, not worth it.
I know it's not worth it, but... I can't help it.
Well, I used to get stressed. But then I thought, well, what's the point in worrying about it? It doesn't solve anything, and they don't pay you more for it. So I don't.
Simple. Why didn't I think of that?
Look, the way I see it, it's all about balance. Physically, mentally, the whole lot. I mean, take Karen, for instance. She never sits still for a minute, constantly fidgeting. She's so wound up with nervous energy, it makes you wonder how long she's going to last. And Pradeep used to be brilliant, but he's only here in body these days. He's so churned up about maybe losing his job that basically he can't think about anything else.
What about Maggie?
Maggie Johns?
Well, Maggie's got no life outside this place, as far as I know. At least I've never heard her talk about her family, or friends, or anything except the job. So I don't think she always sees things quite in perspective, if you know what I mean.
And me?
Well, your problem, Paul, is you swallow Maggie's view of things, hook, line and sinker. When she's happy, you're happy. And when she's stressed, you're stressed.
It's not my fault.
It's not about whose fault it is. It's about who's in control of your life. You or all this, including Maggie. Come on, Paul, you've just got to toughen up a bit, that's all.
The most important areas of stress management are exercise, nutrition, good time management, assertiveness so that you're not left feeling completely overwhelmed by everybody loading work onto you. You've got to learn to say no and not yes all the time. And relaxation, making time for yourself, making time for your whole body, your whole physical system to relax and let go.
There are many, many ways of coping with pressure. And what we have to learn to do is to use as wide a range of coping skills as we possibly can. It's like having the right tool for the job. If we're working on a car, if we've got the right tool, it's easier to do. We might get by with one spanner, but the wider the range, the easier it is, and the better the end job. Same with dealing with pressure. We use a whole range of coping skills. And remember, they don't just have to be work-related coping skills like time management or communications. It can be using the home, taking time with your family, hobbies and interests. Anything that helps you to manage the pressure at work is useful. Use it.
So, by using as wide a variety of different coping mechanisms as possible, you can increase your resistance to stress. Building up your physical resources through relaxation and improved health and fitness means that when the pressures start increasing, your body and mind are better able to cope with them. Improving behavioural skills, such as organising your time better and becoming more assertive and confident, means you are better able to focus on the most important tasks in hand. And building up social resources, balancing your home and work lives, and having a range of people to talk to about any problems, will help you see situations in a clearer, more balanced way. There's little doubt that the better you feel, the more you can do. However, the chances are you'll still be facing pressures over which you have no influence. The organisation's being restructured, you've got too much work to do, or quite simply, you're understaffed.
Pradeep, we've got to talk, get things sorted out.
I thought we talked earlier.
I don't mean about Lola, and I don't mean a row. I mean talk about what we're going to do about Sarah leaving. Because even without the book fair, I'm never going to be able to handle all her stuff.
Okay, leave it with me.
That's just the point, Pradeep. I don't want to leave it with you because you won't do anything. What's the matter, Pradeep? These past few weeks, I don't know, it's like you've been half dead.
Smita's pregnant.
Well, that's great, isn't it?
It would be if I had a job.
You do have a job.
For how long?
Well, no one knows that. Anyway, Richard said there wouldn't be any redundancies.
Richard said. Until 6 weeks ago, Richard said there was no way there'd be a takeover even.
Yes, I know. But you are one of our most successful commissioning editors.
Then why has Richard spoken to Stephen and Jill and Hilary about the Houston takeover, but not me or Martin?
Well, he's probably just not got round to it. But if it bothers you, why not talk to him?
Oh, yeah.
Well, why not? What's the alternative? Sitting in here torturing yourself day after day. Anyway, look, I've got to get on. Basically, all I wanted to say is I need another assistant fast. In fact, if you were looking for another job... Sorry, bad joke.
Control, in my view, is one of the critical elements in workplace stress. The more people feel they have control, the better able they're going to be able to cope. People have more control than they actually think they do. Most people don't think they have any control and say, well, if, you know, I can't change the boss's view of that, and I can't do this, and I can't do that. But in fact, you can.
There's no doubt that as individuals we can do an awful lot to manage pressure, to deal with our stress. But we also need to look at what causes pressure in the first place. We need to look at what the organisation can do to help eliminate pressure at source. That way we get the best of both worlds. We get people who are coping effectively with necessary pressure, and we get the organisation helping to redesign jobs, look at communication flow, to do a whole range of activities to help eliminate pressure in the first place. And that way we don't end up with a stresses for wimps or stresses of weakness approach. We end up with an organisation that recognises that work is demanding and it places demands on people. It helps to eliminate unnecessary pressures, and it helps its people to encourage and develop and improve their coping skills. And that way we end up with managing pressure effectively.
Right, send them up and I'll meet them at reception. Will you be much longer?
Just about there.
Good. Paul, Michelle, the Halston people are on their way up.
Pressure exists. It's a fact of life. But it needn't produce stress. By learning to take control and manage pressure positively, it's possible to make it work for you, not against you.
Hey! Yes!
Oh, let there be light.
Oh, Maggie.
Tom.
Oh, I am so sorry we're late.
Hello. Hi. Hi.
You would not believe the trouble we've had.
Oh, join the club. We've had a park up most of the afternoon, right on top of our deadline for Frankfurt.
Well, looks like you've taken things in your stride, though.
Oh, we do our best, you know. This way.
Ah, Maggie.
Oh, Tom, this is Pradeep Tanner, one of our commissioning editors. Pradeep, this is Tom Willis, Halston Press.
Pleased to meet you.
Hi.
Maggie, I've just been talking to Richard. Everything's sorted out. Lola will join you in Frankfurt.
Oh, good.
Anyway, excuse me, I must tell Karen.
Just a little misunderstanding with one of our authors. You know how it is?
Don't we just?
So I expect you'd all like coffee.
Yeah, you bet, yeah.
Thanks a lot.
See ya.